We want to be in a rat race comparing ourselves. That's the human element. Stop comparing ourselves, because failure, accept that, yes, I did not do well. Yeah, you will go through that instant. When somebody tells you your idea is
why is it when it comes to work, studying, when it comes to professional, the career, right? Why is everybody focused on comparing themselves to everyone? Why aren't they focused on themselves? You know, the 3.0 GPA student's worried about the 4.0 GPA student.
Mm-hmm.
The person with the associate's degree is worried about the guy with the bachelor's degree who's worried about the girl with the master's degree.
Yeah.
Why are we worried about everyone else and not ourselves and our skills and our abilities?
Because we always want to be in a rat race. We want to be in a rat race comparing ourselves. That's the human element, and that is the most important fundamental thing to be getting rid of. One of the traits or emotions which we need to get rid of. Stop comparing ourselves, because it just doesn't happen only when you are a job seeker. Once you get a job, you're working for a company, within the organization, you start comparing about what portfolio does he have, what is she doing, what is he doing. You got to stop comparing yourself. Just stay focused, stay in your lane. And in fact, when you build organizations as well, right, you start thinking about who is my competition, how is my competition. Yeah, you can think of it from it has to be a different lens, but the most important thing is staying on your lane will give you far more success than comparing with somebody else and going through that burnout.
You're doing it to yourself.
Oh yeah, you're self-flagellating yourself. That's what you're doing, actually.
So, as a CEO, do you watch or compare yourself to other CEOs?
I actually do not. So to your point, no, I do not see any other CEOs in terms of what they are doing and how they are showing up or what they're doing.
You look at other CEOs for inspiration,
Yeah.
for achievements, or strategies.
Correct. Yeah.
But you don't look at competition or envy or ego.
No, so I haven't seen any CEO, I haven't had that kind of a mindset where I'm looking at envy or competition in similar business space or anything of that nature. So I haven't found, first of all, I'm happy that I don't see it that way, and I haven't seen anybody, oh, this is what I want to be, or this is who I should be competing with. I look up for inspiration, definitely though.
Is there any parts of your life where you do allow competition? Because you're a competitive person. You used to be in sports, right?
Of course I do. So there are certain parts, like for example, especially when I'm doing stand-up work, like if I'm going and addressing a large audience, I just want to get better and better at my delivery. So I'm always looking at like some of the real masters at work, right? People who have achieved mastery in stage presentations and communication. I look up to them and draw inspiration for that. From that, where I actually get burned is when I review my performance and I feel that, oh, I could have done better than this. I'm going through that grind. But what I do is I also know it is so important that you have to look through the right lens, meaning the lens is the failure was a learning opportunity. If you start thinking about, oh my God, I really let the audience down. I should have done better. You would continue to go through that grind for the next 24, 48, or even 1 week. But if you change the perspective and think about what did I do wrong and how can I improve? And do I draw an inspiration from one of the masters, right? And accepting that, yes, I did not do well. It's okay. There will be always another opportunity. There will always be another opportunity. But if you think that is the only opportunity, then you start going through that grind. So you have to overcome that. And it is just you're running your processors, you're burning your processors. And it is not just taking you in a positive direction, but it will take you in a negative direction. And again, when in comparison, exactly this is what happens. When you start comparing yourself with somebody else's grades, your work with somebody else's grade, what you're doing is you're just burning your processor capacity, which is your cognitive thinking ability and your emotions. You're burning the processors, where else that processing time could be used for actually progressing in the forward direction. So which direction do you want to move? You want to go left or you want to go right? You want to move the forward direction, then you want to take that as a failure. Accept that, yes, I did not do well. Yeah, you will go through that instance. When somebody tells you your idea is wrong, when somebody tells you, hey, when somebody posts you stating that, hey, no, having that humility to accept that, you know what, hey, there is an opportunity for improvement. What else can I do to get better? That's what I think.